What is going on, guys? Dino Bam Bam here with the 10-7 MMA. Happy to be back in your lives with another quick picks. Of course, this UFC Iowa card is a badass stacked card. We're going to give you the quick breakdown here, a little bit about each fighter, a prediction, then we move the fuck on. But a little bit of channel news before we do that, really quickly. As I told you guys before, if you're new to the channel, you probably don't know, but your boy is going to the UFC Iowa card. We will be linking up with Deiveson Figueiredo and Captain Eric, so that's going to be badass. Look out for that. And then we're also doing an interview tomorrow with Miranda Maverick. Randomly just popped up on us. She's got a fight coming up with Thug Rose in a couple weeks, so good luck to her, and it's going to be a fun conversation with her. So if you guys are looking forward to that, shit, like and subscribe. Do like the thing at the bottom says. Ring the bell. Thumbs up. All that kind of shit. You can also follow us on Instagram at the107MMA. Pictures with us and fighters. We're going to have a picture with Captain Eric and Figgy this weekend. Of course, some clips with Miranda Maverick. A bunch of the fighters on this card. So check your boys out on there, okay? Again, my name is Dino Bam Bam. This is the 10-7 MMA. And here's the quick picks. Let's get straight into it. First fight of the night. We got Juliana Killer Miller, and she's taking on Ivana Petrovic. If you guys know me at all, you know I don't like me any Juliana Miller. I don't like her. She's a main op. She's a y'all's girl. That's what we call her. We got my boys. We got your boys. We got y'all's boys. That's Juliana Miller. Juliana Miller is a y'all's boy, okay? Relentless grappler, guys. Wild, unrefined style. Good jiu-jitsu, of course, right? 12th planet. You know, she is pretty good on the ground. Now, on the feet, she's nothing special at all. She's wild. There's really no technique. I'll tell you the biggest thing about Juliana Miller, besides the grappling, which is actually pretty damn good, she's tough, man. She's relentless. She's a dog. She's willing to bite down on her mouthpiece and go get it. She's taking on Ivana Petrovic, a well-rounded fighter. Keeps things a lot more cleaner, right? On the feet, she looks way more refined, way more technical, crisp, straight punches. On the ground, she's okay, right? Good takedown defense, capable of working her way out of some submissions and shit like that. She's not going to want to get on the ground with Juliana Miller, but I think that's going to be the difference in this one. She's probably not going to have to go to the ground. I think she's going to be too clean on the feet. And even if we do get there, I think she's going to stay safe enough. Juliana Miller, not my cup of tea. I'm going Ivana Petrovic, minus 230. Unanimous decision it's got to be the pick. Moving on to the next fight of the night, we've got Thomas Peterson, and he is taking on Don'Tale Mayes. The big boys are in action. Don'Tale Mayes, guys, a long, rangy, big-bodied striker, decent hands, underrated movement, a big boy that he's pretty light on his feet, let's say that, right? When he's on, he's going. Decent reach. He keeps the fight at range, touches people up. The power's okay. It's nothing special, but it's pretty damn solid. On the ground, you know, kind of lacking for sure. That's kind of what this fight boils down to, right? Because Thomas Peterson's a grappler. That's what he is. He's one of those typical stocky wrestlers, heavy hands. He's looking for the takedowns. He wants the ground control, a little bit of ground and pound. So this is basically striker versus grappler, okay? And I think this fight is going to play out that way. It's going to be either the wrestler takes him down and wins the fight, or he's going to get touched the fuck up and maybe knocked out on the feet. To me, guys, I'm going to go with Thomas Peterson. I'm really reluctant in doing that, to be honest with you. He's not somebody that I'm really confident in, but I think he will be able to get takedowns. I think he'll be able to avoid being knocked out early. Again, Don'Tale Mayes, decent power, but nothing really special. And then he's kind of just a fish out of water on the ground. So Thomas Peterson, I'll go TKO round 2 to some ground and pound after really laying on this guy for a couple minutes. Kind of a boring fight, to be honest with you. Moving on to the next fight of the night, we've got Gaston Bolaños, and he is taking on Quang Lee. Guys, 2 Muay Thai style strikers here, right? Let's start with Gaston Bolaños. Good power, exciting, down to brawl, always moving forward. And what he has is a special move, right? For longtime viewers of the channel, you know, DS likes to talk about this all the time. He's a guy with a special move. He has that spinning back elbow, spinning back fist, has a bunch of highlight reels with that. Fun-ass fighter, man. Grappling could definitely use some work. He's taking on Quang Lee. Quang Lee, another Muay Thai style fighter, has a little more in the grappling than Gaston Bolaños does for sure. As far as the striking's concerned, always moving forward, good kicks, tough as hell, good movement, decent chin. This guy, they're both fun fighters, man. I see this fight taking place on the feet. Maybe Quang Lee tries to mix in a couple takedowns. But, I mean, if they're staying on the feet, it's 2 strikers, right? And Gaston Bolaños definitely pops on tape more for me here. I'm going to go Bolaños by decision. This should be a fun-ass fight. Moving on. We've got Marina Rodriguez, and she is taking on my girl, Jillian Robertson. Marina Rodriguez, 38 years old, I believe. She's old, man. She's old for the division. You don't love seeing that. But anyway, she's a sharp, technical striker, good Muay Thai base. Thrives at keeping the fight at range, right? She does a really good job with distance management. Of course, she is super damn long for the division. Good combos, good timing. Her takedown defense has always been a little bit of a vulnerability for her. Jillian Robertson, her opponent, of course, highly credentialed jiu-jitsu grappler, but she struggles with that thing that all these jiu-jitsu fighters tend to struggle with, and that's taking the fight to the ground. So we've got Jillian Robertson, who is on the extreme end of just being a grappler. I mean, the striking has improved. Don't get it twisted. Like, it's okay. It's serviceable. She's not winning any Muay Thai fights. She's not winning a stand-up fight against Marina Rodriguez, but I think her takedowns will be enough. She'll be relentless enough with them. She'll push for them several times. She'll get into the clinch. She'll try to work trips. She'll get it to the cage. You guys know I love me some Jillian Robertson, man. I think she eventually gets this fight to the ground, and then we're in her world. I got to go Jillian Robertson via submission. I feel like I do that every goddamn time, but I feel like it pays off. So Jillian Robertson, round two. I think she probably gets herself an arm triangle, an RNC, something like that, and just moves on, man. Moves on. Next fight of the night, guys. I love this one. Ryan Loader, and he is taking on Azamat Bakoyev. An interesting fight, right? Because we have Azamat Bakoyev, a guy that's not really, like known to UFC guys, right? To UFC fans, of course, spent a lot of his career, out there in the Eastern world in Russia and Dagestan and doing all that kind of shit. But he's a great fighter, man, a great record, powerful wrestler. Of course, you could tell just by looking at his name. Good submissions, absolutely nasty ground and pound, stays heavy on top. Of course, on the feet, he's unrefined, but he does throw those big ass bombs and he kind of stays safe defensively, which I like about him. He's taking on Ryan Loader, your typical gritty, NCAA Division I wrestler, right? That's his style, high level wrestler, grinds on his opponents, likes to push it up to the cage, work takedowns, uses his physicality. He's a strong fucking dude. We saw that against Robert Valentin. His hands are okay. They're not bad for a guy that's this inexperienced in pro MMA. He's a pretty solid fighter. I mean, the odds on this one are wide for me. I'm still picking Azamat Bakoyev, but he's a relatively unknown on this side of the world, right? Yes, we've seen him, but not as much as we would like to, versus a guy in Ryan Loader where we know his grappling is very high level. So I wonder how a guy in Azamat Bakoyev's grappling, which we expect is pretty good, right? We've seen it be good, but is it NCAA Division I good? We don't know. Azamat Bakoyev round 2 TKO is ultimately what I'm going with. I don't love the odds. I don't know that I'll be betting this one, but I think he does win this fight. I think he's going to wear Ryan Loader down. He's going to be heavy as shit. Should be a fun fight. I'm not counting Ryan Loader out. Moving on. Yana Kunitskaya, a.k.a. Yana Santos. She is taking on Cupcake Miesha Tate. Guys, Yana Santos, man, a solid kickboxer, likes to fight long, likes to keep the fight at distance, straight shots, straight kicks. She's a beast, man. And if you've been watching MMA, you've been watching UFC for any amount of time, you've seen these ladies, right? She's tough as hell, man. She's really good. She's always been underrated. Great pressure. Of course, her husband's in her corner. I saw him on Instagram, so he's going to be there. Shout out Maheta. She's taking on Miesha Tate, guys, a grinder, right? Miesha Tate, kind of one of the only fighters left in MMA that's really a specialist, right? Just like a one-trick pony. Her striking is not that good at all. I mean, of course, throughout the years, it's been improved, right? She's a former world champion, but really, she's trying to get the fight to the ground. She's smothering when she gets you there. Chain wrestling is awesome. Down for a dogfight, down to wear her opponents out, ultimately looking for a sub. I feel like the line is a little weird here, guys. Miesha Tate is old, man. She's 38, 39 years old. Yana Santos has looked solid. She's looked okay. I know she's had a couple iffy fights. I feel like she's one of those fighters we always kind of like counter out after she has a bad performance. Then she seems to bounce back and go on a little bit of a streak. I'm going Yana Santos here. Give me the dog. I feel like she wins a decision in this one versus Miesha Tate, who I just don't think, is going to be around for too much longer. Like, what is it? Father Time, undefeated, right? So give me Yana Santos. I feel like she wins this fight. Moving on to, I believe, the main card. We've got the return of the Lil Heathen, Jeremy Stephens, and he is taking on the returning Mason Jones. Two guys that were cut from the promotion, found their way back in. Jeremy Stephens, of course, found his way back in after going 3-0 in BKFC. So shout out to him. He's also on a one-fight contract, which is super goddamn weird. He said he was given a longer contract by the UFC, but it was for like a small amount of money. And he decided that he's going to bet on himself once again, which he did in BKFC. And he said, I signed a one-fight deal. I'm going to win this fight. I'm going to win in spectacular fashion. Then they're going to want to pay me more. So we will see. All action brawler, guys. You know the deal with Jeremy Stephens. He hits like a fucking truck still, even at this advanced age. He's down to bang. He looked good in BKFC, man. And I guess that's kind of what we have to go based on, right? We don't really want to look back at his former UFC or even his his PFL fights, a couple years back. It's been a while. So the Jeremy Stephens I saw in BKFC, solid, man. He was quicker. Quicker than his opponents, right? He fought Eddie Alvarez. He was quicker than Eddie Alvarez. I don't know how much that's saying, but I'll be rooting for Jeremy Stephens. He's taking on Mason Jones, a younger, faster, much more well-rounded guy at this point, 8-9 years younger, throws in volume, mixes in the takedowns, and really, I think that's going to be the trick for Mason Jones in this one. I think he doesn't mind making this a boring fight. He may be able to get the best of Jeremy Stephens on the feet, but why do that, right? I think he's going to go for the takedowns. He's going to just wear on Jeremy Stephens, ground and pound, looking for subs, shit like that. Get Jeremy Stephens tired in front of his home crowd, and then just end the third round, eventually just beating up on him too much. The referee stops it. That's kind of how I see this fight going. I don't see Jeremy Stephens going out or tapping out or anything like that. I just see it kind of being like a slow burn. Mason Jones just wearing on him, kind of kicking his ass, him not doing too much in return, and the referee just stops the damn fight. Now, moving on to the next fight of the night, another fight I absolutely love. Cam Smotherman, guys. He's taking on Sirhay City, which I love that name. It reminds me of Circuit City. Shout out them. It's a shame they went out of business, okay? Cam Smotherman, guys. Wild man on the feet. Nonstop pressure. High output. Not afraid to bite down and trade. The kind of fighter who's forcing a pace at all times. He breaks dudes by just staying in their goddamn face with that pressure, that decent power. He's down to get hit as long as he makes it dirty and he can hit you back. Love me some Cam Smotherman. He's taking on Sirhay City, who in this one is definitely going to be the cleaner striker, right? He's sharp, he's technical, he's composed, he's really goddamn calm. Love that about Sirhay City. He's like, he will brawl. Don't get it twisted. He's down to brawl, but for the most part, he's going to be like a really, really composed fighter. He's going to be really calm, sometimes maybe even a bit slow, but when he gets it going, he's solid as hell. I just don't know that the pace is going to be able to, that he's going to be able to keep up that pace with Cam Smotherman, because he was able to do that against Ramon Tavares and he was able to do that against some of his previous opponents. But Cam Smotherman is all fucking gas, no brakes, right? He's always going. I just don't know that Sirhay City is going to be able to match him, shot for shot. And on the scorecards, it's going to come down to volume. And I just think Cam Smotherman wins this on the scorecard due to the volume. 29-28, maybe a 30-27. Should be a fun fight. They're going to be on the feet for 3 fucking rounds. So I'm excited for that. Now, a really fucking interesting fight. Montel Jackson versus the undefeated Daniel Marcos. Now, if you guys have been watching the channel for a while, Daniel Marcos, a person that we talk about all the time, me and DS, we always argue that. I don't know if we argue about it, but we mentioned the fact that we think he's like the worst of all the undefeated guys in the UFC, right? And a couple months, I want to say like a month ago, maybe a month and a half ago, I asked DS on the channel live. I was like, yo, DS, Daniel Marcos is fighting Montel Jackson. Is this finally the fight he loses his O? And he goes, nah, I don't think so. It's the next one. And I'm going to be dead ass with you guys. I agree with them, man. I don't love Daniel Marcos, but the guy is a dog. He brings pressure. He brings volume. He's tough as hell. And the thing I love most about Daniel Marcos, I don't know if I love it. I don't like the guy. I'm not a big fan. But what he does that's so goddamn genius is like, he's going to do anything to win the fight. He's one of those guys that doesn't give a shit about what you think about his performance. If he has to be boring, he's going to be boring. If he's banked 2 rounds, he's taking no fucking risks in the third. And, that could be his downfall eventually. He is taking on Montel Jackson, a long technical guy that hits very fucking hard, sniper style striker, right? He's going to wait for you to make a mistake. He's going to fucking sling it and hope to knock your ass out. On the ground, he's pretty solid as well. He's just a dangerous dude. He's got good wrestling if he needs to go to that. Minus 205 is fucking bananas to me, right? I love Montel Jackson. I don't love Daniel Marcos. I just see plus 170 odds on a guy that's undefeated, a guy that his best quality is knowing how to win. So I am going Daniel Marcos by decision. Maybe this is finally the time, that he burns me. Daniel Marcos by decision. I like plus 170. I ain't going to hold you guys. I like that a lot. Moving on. We've got Santiago Ponzinibbio, and he is taking on D-Rod, two older dudes. This is good matchmaking. It's pretty solid matchmaking. Santiago Ponzinibbio, sharp striker, likes to stay long, likes to work his jab, land clean combos. We saw the power on display last time out. Yes, he's not as fast as he used to be. Yes, he's not as powerful as he used to be, but he's still goddamn dangerous. And Carlston Harris saw that shit. And now in the grappling, he's okay, right? He's solid. What you would expect from a longtime UFC vet, but really, he's a guy that wants to stay on the feet and beat your ass up with volume. He's taking on D-Rod, another volume striker, a pressure boxer. He's going to keep that steady pace literally for the entire 15 minutes. Yes, he does keep his chin up. Yes, his hands get kind of low, but when he finds himself a rhythm, D-Rod's still pretty good. He's the younger fighter in this one. He's down to go, get this into a brawl. And I think that's what we're going to get, guys. I think we're going to get a 3-round brawl between two fucking badass, tough dudes. And ultimately, Daniel Rodriguez, again, is just going to win this fight to me on volume. I think the volume is going to be a little too much. The judges are going to give it to D-Rod. And we got plus 105. And I don't expect this to stay at plus 105, right? I think by the time we hit Saturday, we're going to see Daniel Rodriguez at like a minus 115, minus 120. Maybe this is a pick'em situation, or maybe he's a slight favorite. Get your bets in right now. I think D-Rod wins this fight. I don't want to say easily. It's going to be a tough fight. It's going to be a tough, close fight, but give me D-Rod by decision. Moving on to the co-main event of the evening, a very, very interesting fight. We got RDR, Renier de Ridder, and he's taking on No Bickle, a.k.a. Bo Nickel. Guys, we talked about Ryan Loder being a Division I wrestler. Bo Nickel is like a fucking, just like a superstar fucking collegiate wrestler. So take that with a grain of salt, right? Bo Nickel, freak athlete, guys, elite wrestling, insane control, insane strength when he gets on top. Wastes absolutely no time getting to the takedowns. He's going to shoot them early. Doesn't really have to shoot them often because he gets them once he shoots them. He's going to chain his takedowns. He's going to hunt for the finish super goddamn fast. A lot of people are really down on Bo Nickel due to that last performance. And I think, yes, it was a stupid game plan by Bo Nickel wanting to stay on the feet and show that, he's evolving as a striker. He was facing a grappler. He didn't really want to get subbed. Paul Craig, a very, very, very dangerous guy. Renier de Ridder, kind of similar, right? And I think that's really the reason the UFC made this fight. Okay, you struggled a little bit against Paul Craig. Here's Renier de Ridder, another guy that's, basically you're going to have the same camp for RDR that you're going to have for Paul Craig. RDR a bit better of a striker for sure than Paul Craig, but really not too much of a difference. So I think Bo Nickel's been in camp for a while for this fight, and it's going to be the same kind of fucking, same game plan, let's call it, as Paul Craig. RDR, guys, a slick grappler, nasty submission game, good body awareness on the ground, super calm in any situation. The guy's been there, done that. He's a former one double champion. He's nasty. I mean, on the ground, he's really good. On the feet, I just don't know that he's going to be able to stand there and exchange with Bo Nickel. We've seen RDR struggle with power strikers before. I'm going Bo Nickel. I think this is a Bo Nickel finish. Early round one, kind of shuts the critics up, gets everybody back on his D. Pause, no Diddy. He's just going to show that grappling's different. He's going to go in there. He knows RDR is this high-level grappler. He's going to shoot that takedown right away. He's going to test himself on the ground, and he's going to beat the shit out of RDR. I'm going round one TKO, Bo Nickel. I just don't know how long RDR is going to be able to survive the ground and pound. Now, we move on to the co-main event of the evening, where, of course, we've got Cory Sandhagen taking on my boy, Daiko Deus de Guerra, Deiveson Figueiredo. And, guys, again, I said it at the beginning. I'm going to say it again now. I am linking up with Figgy. I am linking up with Captain Eric. So do with that info what you may, right? Do what you need to do with that. I'm picking Deiveson Figueiredo. I can't pick against him. That's my boy. I'm linking up with him this week. And, that might be biased. It might not. But what I will tell you, I'm going to give you the breakdown here. Minus 500, plus 380. The odds are fucking bananas. So even if you're confident in Cory Sandhagen winning this, no sense in betting a minus 500. Plus 380 is worth a goddamn sprinkle. Anyway, Deiveson Figueiredo, one of the most explosive, dangerous finishers in the lower weight classes we've seen in fucking years, guys. Hits like a truck, nasty jiu-jitsu, especially that guillotine, fight-ending power. Now, the thing is, have we seen that power translate to 135? A lot of people are saying no, we haven't seen it translate to 135. I'd argue that we have, right? The Marlon Cheeto Vera fight, a very good example of that. Cheeto, a guy with a notoriously great chin. Sean O'Malley, if you remember, cracked him with that fucking knee that sounded like a baseball bat. That didn't wobble Cheeto. Deiveson Figueiredo dropped his ass, right? Dropped him with a punch. So Deiveson still got that power. He's experienced. I believe a lot in this guy. He is getting on in years, so I'm hoping, Father Time ain't catching up with him. He's taking on Cory Sandhagen, a slick technician, right? All movement, all range, long limbs. He's a striker. He's a Muay Thai style striker. I don't even know if I want to classify him as a Muay Thai style striker, but he's just a long, rangy striker, dangerous knees, dangerous elbows. On the ground, he's slick as hell, right? We talk about it all the time. These wiry guys, long limbs, long arms, long legs, they can catch you in some shit on the ground. Now, here's the thing. Again, with Cory Sandhagen, a little too much being made of his power, right? Yes, he has some highlight reel knockouts. He has the Frankie Edgar knockout, which is an all-timer and fucking brutal. But Cory Sandhagen, not really a high-level knockout guy. If you look at his record, it's mostly decisions, right? Most of his wins, especially against high-level guys, are decisions. Yes, he's hard to hit, and when he gets in a rhythm, he's kind of in a class of his own. He's one of the elite strikers when he really gets it going. Now, people are saying Deiveson Figueiredo, the people that are picking Cory Sandhagen are saying Deiveson Figueiredo lost every round against Peter Yan. There's an argument to be made about round 4, but ultimately, yes, he lost all 5 rounds, but every round was competitive, guys. He was in that fight. Peter Yan was just super on one. And then I don't know, right? This is an older Peter Yan than the Peter Yan that fought Cory Sandhagen. And Peter Yan beat the shit out of Cory Sandhagen too, right? I don't know that MMA math be mathin'. And, maybe I'm just fucking talking here to try to convince myself of something. I told you, I'm biased. I'm picking Deiveson Figueiredo by decision. Either way, I think this fight goes to decision. I don't see Figgy finishing Sandhagen. I don't see Cory Sandhagen finishing Deiveson Figueiredo, a dude that's, literally never, he's been subbed once by Brandon Moreno, and then there was the doctor stoppage. Besides that, a guy that's never been knocked out, a guy that's never been subbed besides that, right? So give me Deiveson Figueiredo, again, biased. Anyways, guys, that was the fucking quick pick. So again, this week, you should, first of all, do that. Follow us on Instagram at D107MMA. That's where we're going to be dropping the news. We're linking up with Captain Eric. We're linking up with Figgy. We are doing an interview tomorrow with one Miranda Maverick, which is going to be fun as fuck. That'll probably be uploaded in the next couple days, maybe next week, but I will post clips on Instagram. Also, while you're here, guys, do us a favor. We're trying to get to 1,000. We're right there. We're right fucking there. Hit the like and subscribe button. Hook your boys up with that. And yeah, that was that. So, Dino Bam Bam D107 MMA. Packing my bags, fucking going to Iowa. Thank you guys so much for watching. Peace.